Now that you've become a member and learned about the equipment you'll need before arriving at your new trap club, let's take a moment and briefly look at a trap field and examine the common elements of what you can expect. The ATA rulebook outlines specific standards for trap fields so that no matter where a competition is held, shooters can expect that all fields maintain the same standards. And although the specifics of those standards are probably not really much of an interest to you at the moment, awareness of them is essential with developing your understanding of the sport. This video seeks to explain a few of the standards while also giving you an overview of the common elements of trap field layouts. Let's start with the targets. The targets themselves are 4 5/16 inch in diameter by 1 1/8 inch in height. They weigh between 95 and 105 grams and are thrown at an angle roughly 9 feet high, measured at 10 feet in front of the house. They are thrown at a speed between 42 and 44 miles per hour, and Shoot Management verifies these standards at the start of each registered shoot. Next, let's briefly examine the trap houses. As you might expect, safety is the first concern, so the trap houses must be built to adequately protect the people inside that are loading the machines. The trap house length is roughly between 7 and 9 feet long, 7 and 9 feet wide, and 2 to 3 feet tall. Now I would like to specifically call your attention to the orange traffic cone you see placed in the front of the trap house because it is an essential safety device. Whenever you see it placed on top of the trap house, it means there is a person working inside and they will emerge shortly. No shooters will load or mount their shotguns until the worker emerges and walks to a safe location behind the firing line. The game of trap shooting involves shooters standing on 5 separate shooting posts, and you will notice them here by where the microphones are placed. Each of these posts are spaced 3 yards apart. The trap machine inside the trap house is voice activated and will throw the targets when the shooter calls for them. Targets can be thrown manually by a puller, but voice activation is the most common with today's technology. In a later video segment, we will be explaining the 3 events of trap shooting. But for right now, I'd like to briefly call your attention to the yard line markers that you are seeing that are embossed into the cement for an event we call Handicap. Handicapping in the world of trap shooting means offsetting the skill level of the more accomplished shooters by moving them farther away from the trap house when they are competing, thus increasing the skill level it takes to effectively break the targets. The less experienced shooters shoot from closer distances. Handicap yardages begin at the 19-yard line and extends to 27. Now let's switch to the final part of the trap field tour and cover some other features you'll find at the trap ranges, beginning with the scorekeeper's chair. Yep, this is where the magic happens. As you can see, it's simply an elevated platform with a writing table in front. Scorekeepers position it at differing vantage points behind the shooting line. But before you get to the chair, you will encounter a gun rack. These are provided for shooters on deck to hold their shotguns while they wait their turn to shoot, or in between rounds when they are resupplying their ammo. I feel I would be remiss if I didn't point out the public address and lighting systems. And although some smaller clubs may not have them, the majority of clubs will to some degree. The public address is used during events to inform shooters of essential information such as the commencement of events. And, as I'm sure you've probably guessed, the lights enable clubs to host nighttime shooting events. Leagues are often conducted during evening and nighttime lighting conditions. As a final note, I would like to end this segment by proudly saying that trap shooting is a sport for people with varying abilities. Not only do all trap ranges accommodate the use of mobility devices, ATA rules expressly include accommodations for shooters that need to shoot from a seated position.